Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have always believed that a person's legacy is defined through their character and how they perceive themselves. I have always wanted to go down in history for being known as one of the greatest of all time. I've never wanted to be famous. I've just wanted to go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. And I know now more than I ever have that I will have the honor of going down in history for being one of the greatest of all time because of each and every one of you, if not the greatest. Some of the all-time greatest of all time have seen their legacies be left behind, and I've always wanted to leave one behind for each and every one of you, for my passions for Disney, pro wrestling, pop culture. The thing about a YouTuber is they never know how much of a reach their videos are going to have. Each time you upload a video to YouTube, you never know how your video is going to be received, how people are going to respond to you. And you guys showed me the honor of allowing me to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies. And since becoming your voice of Descendants of Zombies, I have perceived it and received it as the greatest honor of my life. And I wouldn't have it any other way. If I could go back in time and relive this entire experience, go on this journey with you guys all over again, just to have the honor to meet each and every one of you, not just to talk about Descendants of Zombies, but to have the honor of meeting each and every one of you, and treat this franchise with the respect and the dignity that's forever and always deserved, along with your favorite stars, and the many conversations that I've had with hundreds of people about Descendants of Zombies, I would take myself up on that opportunity. Let's say if I could pull a Phineas and Ferb, because I love the thought of going back in time, which is why I will forever and always miss Ruby Rose Turner's involvement with the Descendants franchise moving forward, because you honestly can't tell me that you couldn't have found something for Ruby's character to do in present-day Wonderland, because of how significant and how much light she brought to the franchise. She offered so much inspiration to millions of people, and she became everybody's favorite character. Even if you had a chapter in the Descendants franchise specifically devoted to Ruby's character, Bridget, I think everybody would fall in love with that. Kind of like how they had Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure off of High School Musical 3's senior year back in 2008. It took them 3 years to develop a story for Sharpay Evans' character, and, you know, I really believe that that movie really set things in motion for the future of Ashley Tisdale and had the conversation at an all-time high. So you can have these, animated specials. You can have these original movies based off of Descendants. You can have TV series called Oradon. There's so much that can be done with these characters, which is why it's led me to believe that this story is far from over, because I have never wanted to say goodbye. If I had it my way, Descendants and Zombies would last for forever. I have to be honest with each and every one of you. While it's been said many times over the years, in the course of a lifetime, that nothing lasts for forever, I've seen and I've heard it all, and I've seen the best of them come and go, kind of fade off into obscurity, because some of the Disney stars and Disney shows of the past are never discussed. These names never come up in conversation. We never hear the names Zac Efron, Ashley Tisdale, Danielle Fishel, Vanessa Hudgens, as much as we did probably 20 years ago. The most we see of Danielle Fishel or Vanessa Hudgens is when they attend WWE events and want to get in the wrestling ring, which I don't know how I feel about that, because I was a wrestling fan for years and I covered the pro wrestling industry for forever. I enjoy seeing them have fun. I just don't know if that's the right career choice or the career path for them to take, but that's the most exposure they get. You know, I have never ever wanted to say goodbye to anything that I ever was a fan of, and I date all the way back to the late 1980s, and being a fan of shows like Gargoyles, Sailor Moon. Yes, I was a fan of Sailor Moon. I thought it was incredible Japanese animation, and I thought that the girl who did the voice of Sailor Moon, she's been voiced by 3 or 4 different voice actors, really brought her to life, and I think that's what gave it such prestige, is the voice. And I think that lending your voice to a character is such a huge honor, which is why when Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson had the honor of voicing their characters in the animated Royal Wedding Special in 2021, setting us up for the Rise of Red and what it was going to amount to, it was the greatest honor of my life being a part of it. And it got me to thinking about how, I would bring the franchise to life if I were the voice of a character. Even the voice of the Kingdom Cup games finding their way to Oradon in Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland, which is a title I feel more than intrigued by, because this title opens up the door for so many unpredictable moments and so many unforgettable moments for each and every one of us to be a part of. I have forever and always believed in you guys being fans of Descendants of Zombies, and I have never ever wanted to take that away from you guys, and I wanted to show your favorite stars the respect and the due diligence that they have forever and always deserved. Because I feel like people who are uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies can't make sense of the franchises to begin with, and should never have uploaded a video about Descendants of Zombies in the first place. I love talking about zombie apocalyptic invasions, alien invasions, to bring this to life for people who are fans of it. Because who out there uploads a video about them living 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode? The funny story that goes with that is I was just browsing through real estate one day, and I found this house. And I've lived here ever since. People have tried to convince me this house is haunted, and to be honest with each and every one of you, I hear a lot of things going bang in the nighttime, a lot of things going bump. I've never actually investigated what's causing the disturbances, but, I think living in a haunted house is kind of really cool. We're just coming off Halloween, and it was a whole lot of fun for me shooting all these zombies videos for you guys, and you guys have been receiving these videos really well, really phenomenally, subscribing every single day. And the thing I notice about this YouTube channel is more people are jumping on the Descendants of Zombies support wagon because everybody is subscribing to this YouTube channel every day. When I was hosting shows out of my parents' basement, which was very challenging to do, it was quite difficult, I never thought that my voice and my videos would have such an incredible reach. But through the power of the 3,000 plus videos that I've uploaded over the course of 25 years, I've had the honor of meeting so many incredible people in whatever niche that I fell into on the time. But no matter what niche I fell into, nothing has ever made perfect sense to me until I fell into the niche of Descendants of Zombies. Because this niche is the most incredibly supportive niche, and one that I will never ever forget. Guys, I will come out taking bullets for you and swinging every single time, because it really breaks my heart when I see Kylie Cantrell subjected to criticism that is totally unnecessary, when Ruby Rose Turner is left heartbroken because she's turned down and denied roles. Because I see the dedication in the hearts of Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner, and I see them being incredibly fond of everybody that is so supportive of them. I just saw Freya Sky do an interview at Halloween Fest where she was questioned about Zombies 5 and the potentiality of us seeing mermaids see their introduction into the franchise for the first time ever. Now, if you go further back in time, Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly dropped a teaser that mermaids could be involved with Zombies 5 in the future because they had seen just about every supernatural character be involved with this franchise and see introduction into the franchise previously. I have never closed the door on anything ever happening for zombies, and I don't ever want you guys to close the door or believe or buy into what the critics are trying to sell to you guys. And that is why I created this YouTube channel, because I know so many different age demographics have been affected by Descendants of Zombies, and have been led to believe a lot of things which is pretty much just a bunch of nonsense. I've seen all these AI videos teasing mermaids by the time we get to Zombies 5. We don't even know when Zombies 5 is going to happen. There's no official confirmation having been dropped from Disney on social media. There's never been an official confirmation dropped on D23.com. We've had a couple of teasers over the course of 6 months on D23.com concerning Descendants and social media. They love being a part of these teasers to get everybody excited. And I love the enthusiasm from Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner and Malia Baker when they do this kind of thing. And we've seen them do it countless times over the years. We've also seen them be very honest about how people feel about them. And as much as they try never to care how people feel about them, it is very difficult for them to shut them out. And it's very difficult for them to shut them out because they care what each and every one of us feel about them and think. And I have this to say to them: they are doing an incredible job inspiring millions of people, because you guys are some of the greatest fans in the world. Who really cares what a critic thinks or has to say? As long as they take pride and show heart and dedication in these characters like Red and Chloe and Bridget, more power to them. I think that this is a dream for them that they are just realizing, and I think that everybody gets to a point in their lifetime where they want to see a dream become that much more of a reality for them. I mean, I have thousands of people who have been subscribed to this YouTube channel from the very first video that was ever uploaded here who have been incredibly supportive of me. And since day one, since the very first video that popped up here, I have always wanted to encourage you that your dream can happen for you regardless of how far that dream seems to be away from you, because your dream is that much closer to you than you've ever perhaps realized. And that's all Red and Chloe have ever wanted for you guys to feel inspired about and because of, is because everybody has a dream. Everybody has an ultimate goal, at least one goal they want to aspire to achieve. And I'm here to tell you guys, don't ever let anybody hold you back or hold you down from achieving and accomplishing that dream. Because time is forever and always elapsing through an hourglass. It's invisible, we can't see it, and we don't know how much sand is ever inside of that hourglass. What's inside of this thing, or what to expect. Because if we did know what to expect, I think we would all be scared, and the future would be more uncertain than ever before. So it's kind of cool that we don't know what's going to happen. That makes life a whole lot more exciting. And I'm just excited to be a part of whatever lies ahead for Kylie and Ruby and Malia, because in all honesty, I think the more people who support them, the more encouragement that we can relay to people who are just looking for that little bit of extra kindness to be shown to them in their lifetime. How many times did I get on the school bus and be tripped up or made fun of, sit alone by myself at the back of the school bus because I didn't want to be around people, and then from out of nowhere some girl would tap me on the shoulder just saying hi to me. I think there was one girl that always used to say hi to me every morning on the school bus. Little beknownst to me, I knew that she liked me, and it was years later until I discovered that she had the biggest crush on me. But the kindness that she showed to me every single day on that school bus, apart from the other 500 kids that were on the school bus, I come to think of it, I don't even know if a school bus can seat over 500 people, probably 150 people at most. But the kindness that she showed me, apart from the other 150 people that were on the school bus each and every single day of the 365 days of the year, was meaning more to me than I could ever put into words. And I still haven't told her how much that meant to me. So I think that the more kindness that we can spread through the message of Descendants and Zombies, and emphatically spread that message, and make that much more of a difference in people's lives who need that kindness shown to them, even when they least expect it, I think that much more of a difference we can make. And that much more of an impression I will go down in history for having left on people. Because all I've ever wanted to do is make people feel inspired. Because you probably have a dream of joining the cheerleading team or joining the swim team or lifting weights at a gym. And if you have a dream of lifting weights at a gym, don't ever let anybody stop you from achieving that dream, because that dream is that much closer to you than you've ever realized. I know that sounds a lot like, some of my favorite Nintendo characters like Cloud from Final Fantasy, but the thing is, these characters offered us inspiration through their quotes and the animation they were involved in. No matter what franchise you were ever a fan of, because I've been a fan of everything. You haven't got to mind me. I've been a fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from 1993, Sailor Moon from 1997. I've been a fan of Kim Possible. I thought that was the coolest show ever. How a girl could be a secret spy and work for this agency undercover, and her parents didn't even know until like season 3, and they became involved in the mess. I think that Disney, Nickelodeon have done a fabulous job bringing these characters to life. Even SpongeBob SquarePants we draw inspiration from. What Meg Donnelly says in her interviews and podcasting about being a fan of cartoons, I find really cool, and I find it quite intriguing. I feel very inspired to watch Bluey and SpongeBob SquarePants. I was ever a fan of SpongeBob SquarePants and Bluey ever before I knew Meg Donnelly was, so I think me and her would get along quite well. But the point I'm trying to make is how she feels about an episode of Bluey is exactly how I felt about my entire life. Because we're put on this earth to help each other make sense of everything that we encounter. And if we can't help each other in everything that we encounter in lifetime, no matter if it's an alien invasion or the chances of a zombie apocalypse breaking out at any given moment, I think our purpose is never fulfilled. But the more we help people make sense of whatever's going on around them, I think the more of an impact we have on the people's lives that we forever and always touch the hearts of. And I think that's all Descendants and Zombies is trying to do. Make people feel inspired. That a dream can happen for you. Because if you notice, every performance Kylie Control either opens up with or closes with ends with how a dream can happen for you. Begins with how a dream can happen for you, because that's all she's ever wanted to realize. Is a dream. And I think that everybody is equal. Certainly everybody is created equal, and nobody is different from each other. But I think that everybody's opinions sometimes get in the way, and that's why it causes confliction. I know I've seen a lot of different opinions about Descendants. Some people wish it could last forever. Others wish it would fade off into obscurity. I've seen and I've heard it all. Being a critic for over 25 years never comes easy. Having a job of a journalist is very challenging, because you have to provide the best analogies and breakdowns possible in each and every one of your commentaries. But I can tell you guys that I have loved talking about Descendants and Zombies with the people who have forever and always held a special place in their hearts for Descendants and Zombies, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Over the course of the last year, I've uploaded over 500 plus videos on Descendants of Zombies, and I've really gone out of my way to dedicate the rest of my life to talking about Descendants of Zombies, along with everything else that associates with it. You know, zombie apocalyptic invasions, how everybody should be the best of friends with each other for forever. Because I really do believe that people can be friends for forever. I've seen it with my own two eyes. More recently, because of friendships and bonds that have become unbreakable because of Descendants of Zombies. And I'm here to tell you guys, there is nothing wrong with that. Probably you became the best of friends because your friend had one of the Descendants dolls that you could never find. And you probably traded it with her. But I think that you guys reaching a mutual understanding and becoming the best of friends for forever because of Descendants of Zombies is truly beautiful. And it makes my job that much more worth it when I can upload videos of Descendants of Zombies that inspire you. I talk about all the movie premieres I go to, how I feel about Descendants of Zombies, and I let you guys know that I'm a fan of Descendants of Zombies. I was forever a fan, a sucker for the relationship between Zed and Addison, and how much they meant to the Zombies franchise, because all everybody wants to achieve in this lifetime is some form of acceptance. You know, years ago, I knew this guy named Mark, and he was one of these jock guys in school, so he wanted to try out for every sports team. Until one year, he had a habit of making sports teams. He didn't make any sports team at all. And he felt very disrespected about how he didn't make any sports teams. But sometimes jealousy gets the better of you. And I think a lot of people are criticized because jealousy consumes a person. And that's what the critics feel about Descendants of Zombies and feel what they have to do to get one over on us all. But every single time that we shut out how a critic feels and we share our opinions and our thoughts on a girl like Clarke, it makes it that much more worth it. And my purpose is fulfilled because all I've ever wanted is for them to go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. If names like Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez and Sabrina Carpenter, God love her, can always end up in the conversation, so too can Clarke and Rose Turner, who are never given enough respect. That's an issue for me. When I see the same 4 or 5 celebrities always ending up in conversations they should never end up in, because it's overshadowing the accomplishments of other people. And that's the biggest issue I have with pop culture conversations. Tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. I will kick it off and do it all over again, because I truly do love being a part of whatever I'm a part of. And I do love showing your favorite franchises the respect they have forever and always deserved. Because if you can't show the respect to your favorite franchises that they have forever and always deserved, then what's the point? I feel like these reaction videos about zombies and Descendants, especially zombies, make no sense to me whatsoever. Obviously, if you don't know what a daywalker and a nightwalker is and what the difference is between the two of them, that implies to me that you've never watched the Zombies franchise to begin with. I mean, I've watched Zombies ever since 2018, and many of you watching these videos have watched Zombies ever since 2018. So it's a pretty obvious concept. And I think how people feel about zombies is something to never really take into consideration. And if you take it into consideration at all, it can really affect you. And I think that's why Meg Donnelly sometimes feels the way she does about life, feeling she's never good enough because of how people feel about her. But necessarily how a person feels about you is not who you are at all. Because the best person who knows you is you yourself. And your best friend is forever and always your heart. And as much as you trust in your heart, the better off you're going to be. Because your heart truly is your best friend. It led them to Clarke and Malia Baker's beautiful friendship. It led them to Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson's beautiful friendship. Friendships that will stand the test of time and never ever be forgotten. And to be honest with you guys, talking about people like Dove Cameron and Clarke is something that I want to do for the rest of my life and continue on being your voice of Descendants of Zombies, because I think that being your voice of Descendants of Zombies has become the greatest honor that I've ever had as a podcast host. I never ever thought I'd fall into a niche that would be so incredibly supportive of me and my thoughts on this niche. And I've been here ever since. I've never left Oregon Prep ever since. I've been a student at Oregon Prep for forever. I've been called the Descendants Analyst, so perhaps I'm a professor. I don't know. But I think that the more fun that we can have with these franchises and allow people to believe in their dreams becoming a reality, the more enjoyable this becomes for me every single time I upload a video. With nearly over 600 videos uploaded on this YouTube channel and just under 75,000 views, it is truly unbelievable how far this YouTube channel has come in such a short amount of time. And I have this to say to everybody who has been with me from the very first video that was ever uploaded here: trust in me and I will never let you down. And most of all, thank you so much. I will never go away. I will forever and always be here, showing the respect to Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner that they have forever and always deserved, because this is the greatest honor of my life. Thank you guys so much for having made me your voice of Descendants of Zombies. Stay safe, everybody. It's a cruel world sometimes, but even with how cruel it is, that much more kindness that we show to people in our lifetime that deserve that kindness from you. You never know when you say hi how great it can make a person feel. Take it from somebody who has had personal experiences with this kind of thing. When you simply just say hi to somebody, it makes that much more of a difference in that individual's life, and you don't even realize it. Guys, thank you so much for being fans of Descendants of Zombies. Thank you so much for watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. We will do this all over again tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. Thank you guys so much from my heart to yours. We will talk about Descendants of Zombies all over again tomorrow morning. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. I would forever love you guys if you would subscribe. I never know how much of a reach each video is going to have, but I know I would forever love you if you would subscribe. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to do that for me, and thank you so much for watching. Stay calm and zombie on, everybody, into the foreseeable future, because that's the only way to forever remain in this lifetime. Thank you guys so very much.